Hi guys, quick update to the Shroom lagoon. In this short video I'm just going to cover the rock work I've used, the sand, how I've started the tank, and then we'll get to the strange white package bobbing around. Now, I started the tank with the Carib Sea sand, just the dry sand, nothing fancy, no live sands, etc. Yeah, it's a nice grade. I don't know if I can get it on the camera, probably there. Yeah, it's you know, not too fine, not too coarse. It doesn't tend to blow around as much, and it's got a lovely colour to it, and I've used it before, quite like it, so obviously no complaints there. The rock work, as you can see, I'll just pan around a little bit. It's dead live rock I've had for a long time. This bunch of rock's been curing for about 8 months now in a container in my garage. So it's been in heated salt water. I've been adding tiny bits of ammonia and ghost feeding it over the last probably 3-4 months. It's cleaned up lovely. It's got everything's died off. It's got no detritus stuck in it. It's really clean, nice rock, and it's processing ammonia instantly. So really chuffed with the rock. To kickstart the system, I've added a few chunks of live rock from an established tank. Now these have come from my Red Sea Reefer 250. That's been running 6 years now. So you know, really solid system, full of beneficial bacteria and biodiversity. So adding rock from a system like that is always going to make a huge difference. I've also added a few cups of sand as well. You know, I'd recommend that to anyone with a new tank, whether you're starting with, even if you are starting with live rock, but definitely if you're starting with dry rock, I'd always recommend getting some seeded media, or you know, a chunk of live rock or sand. But obviously you've got to be really careful what system you get it from, and as I know, like, obviously it's from another tank of mine, I know it's clean, I know there's no issues. Yeah, there's going to be little bits of algae and there's some microalgae and bits and pieces on there, but the benefits from adding it far outweighs dealing with a tiny amount of algae, which I'm probably going to get further down the line anyway, so it's not something I'm worried about at all. But if you can add some, like, you know, seeded media, or for a new tank, especially one with live dry rock, sorry, you know, go for it. You know, positive every time. Now, due to adding the cycled media in the rear chambers and the chunks of live rock, I'm not worried about ammonia whatsoever. I have tested, it's come back as zero nitrates, and I'm getting a reading on nitrates now, so I'm not worried about the cycle at all. You know, to the point I've added a couple of fish. You might be able to see them at the back. They're not the easiest to see against the black background, and they're hiding because I'm obviously chasing them around with the camera. But there they are, there's 2 black mollies. Just see, you know, they're lovely fish, to be fair. They've been out earlier, they're begging for food, so really happy. Now the bag floating around the top, this is again just to give the tank a helping hand. I'm adding a couple of small wrasse, so they'll really appreciate this as well. I've got a bag, 250ml of live pods. Now these are going to go into the tank, hopefully seed the rock work, the sand, you know, some might end up in the media in the rear sump. Hopefully they'll breed, hopefully they'll do their job. You know, they're really beneficial to the system. They're going to eat microalgae off the glass. They're going to consume small amounts of tiny detritus, and they're just a really good addition to the tank. Now, I've had these off reefphyto. I ordered these yesterday afternoon and they arrived this morning, perfectly packaged. Communication was great, I was really impressed. Asked the guys there a few questions on Facebook, messaged me back straight away. So I've had a few bits and pieces off them before, but always impressed with these guys. Now, I don't want to say I paid for these with my own money. They don't give me them, they're not sponsored, I'm not endorsed, and any products I mention in any of these videos, it's just something that I've used over years, things I'm happy with, and so that's it. I'm happy to recommend them. So if you want any live pods, they do other live foods and some phyto, and so I've never actually used anything other than the pods, but I'm sure, you know, if these are anything to go by, I'm sure you'd be more than happy with them. As you can see, it's teeming with them. So actually, while I'm on here, if I can do it with the one hand, maybe, yep, just about. Just get that over here. I'll actually just tip them in. Yeah, it's nothing fancy, just whack them in. I've fed the fish earlier, so hopefully they're not going to eat too many. There's always a few stragglers in the bottom, so if I was you, I'd just submerge it, fill it up with water, you know, give it a rinse round, tip them back in. There we go. There's probably still a few more in there, but you get the message anyway. We'll just leave that in there for the other ones to come out. So yeah guys, that's basically where we're at so far. No, I did a video on Instagram. I haven't put it out on YouTube or anything yet. Oh, you can actually pick the pods up on the camera. Yeah, teaming with them. So hopefully they'll settle somewhere, and yeah, you can see again, quite good actually against the black background. You can see quite a few. Yeah, there's a quick view of the scape. The purple rock isn't staying there. That's going to go back in the back chambers. It's just there just to obviously try and help seed things, but it's not going to stay there. Yeah, I wanted to keep the scape nice and low. You know, it's mushroom only. I needed as much space for them to settle on, but I also want some open sand down the front. I've got a couple of nice recordia that are going to go down here, and I haven't decided with others, and maybe pride a place with a couple of nice bounces. But the scape's kept like that, so you can't see with the flow, but from the top down we're going to get some nice shots. So that's pretty much where we're at so far, really. Scape's in, fish are in, ticking over, and I've got the other fish in quarantine. Well, they're ready to go in when I'm ready, so maybe the next week or two we might have one of the wrasse in there, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, happy reefing. Take care.